Well, good morning, everybody. It's Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes here on the Daybreak Show. And on Zoom video conference, joining me is Jennifer Baria from the EDC, ChooseMason.com. She's the executive director. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
This
Just another Zoom meeting. So exciting.
Zoom meeting. Put it in the book. I have been watching and looking around the community, Mason County and in the downtown of Shelton, and you know, it's really kind of a bizarre time we're in, where we're at the end of July. It's hot out. Everybody has been trying to do their best to adhere to all of this new normal since March now. I mean, it's been months, but I'm starting to see from everybody, there's certain things that are starting to crack a little bit. And as I look through the businesses and walk around downtown Shelton specifically after the show or before the show, and just look at the number of small businesses that we have, and then I try to think about the folks, the people behind those businesses. A great example, this is not necessarily part of this story, but I'm going to use this as an example. You guys at the EDC gifted Spencer and I some great eye fiber masks from the Shopper. And, you know, the Shopper does so much in the community, and the Neelys are just such great people. And it's a family behind the business. And it has got to be just such a struggle for them to be looking at their employees. They're looking at their bottom line. They're looking at all the partnerships in the community, and they are having to make some serious decisions on how they remain open, how they will continue to help the community in ways that, you know, they have been able to do so for months to come. And, you know, not with them, and I was just using them as a great local business, but other businesses around.
Unsponsored highlight.
And thanks for the masks, they fit great. But, you know, other businesses out there that are in different industry, restaurants and things like that. I don't know about in Shelton in particular, but I have seen reports and heard the critics really start to go after the way that you have to do business right now. You know, you got to wear a mask. You got to go into a place and you got to wear a mask. And it is such a politicized issue that there are both folks, you know, 50% of the population thinks the other 50% of the population is completely gone wacko with these masks things, almost and to the point where folks are verbally accosting. I saw a video of some 16-year-old teen working at an ice creamery somewhere in the Midwest, and they were just getting berated for saying, "Sorry, sir, you got to have a mask on," or something like that. And it's not like the young teen worker is not the one that says, "Well, you got to have a mask on."
Right. Those 16-year-olds, they're trying to rise up and control us all.
They'll get you. They don't want that facial recognition. No, I mean, and it's not the business owner that's making these decisions in many cases. It is a mandate from the governor and the health department and L&I and commerce. And there are serious repercussions that people have to internalize before they make some decisions here.
I think it is full stop the hardest time right now to be a business owner than any other depression that we've gone through. And I think the biggest outlier is that we don't know when it's going to end. We don't know, honestly, what's going to change in those regulations or those health safety measures that we need to take next week. It could change in a couple of days if there's a giant spike, or if there's something that happens that people have gathered. Let's say it's in Mason County and we're still in phase 3, you're still allowed to gather. So what happens if something, you know, all kind of comes together wrong? And 20 people all of a sudden, unrelated, not family contacts, unrelated, are at this place, and then boom, you're going to see a big surge. That's going to make the state start paying attention to Mason County and say, what's going on there? Let's roll back some of these phases that we've been able to get to because we've been so concerned and supportive of all of our community members, our businesses, and we're going to see those roll back. And being a business owner and going through the different things that I as a business owner have to do now to even stay in operation, to be able to sell my product, sell my food, have people come in and enjoy the experience. It's beautiful outside. Even having outdoor seating, being able to kind of work your way around all of these restrictions that are being put on you. I think these businesses are really in need of our kindness and our support and our grace. We are hearing quite a bit from our businesses about the frustration that people are having over these masks. And you said it just right. It is a politicized thing now. This health concern has become divisive. So you have people that are yes to masks. How could you not wear them? You don't have it, but how could you not wear them to protect somebody else? And then you have other people that don't want to wear the mask. They're healthy, they feel healthy, they want to be able to move about their life as normally as possible. And it's been going on for so long that we have reached that boiling point, but we're boiling over to the wrong people. Our businesses don't have that control to say, well, sure, you can come in with a mask. They have been mandated by the state to put in these safety plans in order to operate, in order to sell their food, sell their product. And if they don't adhere to that, then they're going to get fined. They're going to get shut down. L&I is going to come and investigate them. And that is that is the last thing we want to have happen, is to have our businesses shut down again. It was a horrible start in middle of March. We don't want to get to that place again. So
Yeah.
Being able to interact with our businesses, the owners, and like you said, the teenagers that are working behind the counters, they don't know how to handle that aggression that customers are giving them, or the defensiveness. They have been told by their boss that they need to do this because the boss has been told by the state that we need to help manage this health crisis. So
okay, let's
it's
break
an
it
interesting
down
place to be.
now. Well, the other thing too is that it's inconsistent from county to county, from state to state, and the inconsistencies can also come whether or not you're in a building and there's less than 10 people and the building's not selling anything. So then there's certain rules that apply there. So we have, as you know, guests come in and do interviews in studio when available. And we have masks that we are wearing, and there is just 3 of us. It's you and me in the recording room, and Spencer is in some other room. So there's only 3 of us, but we all have masks on. Now, I also understand, though, because of the distance that we are at, and we're not engaged in commerce, that and stop me if I'm wrong, but we wouldn't necessarily have to have that mask on. So then you go from one place and then you go to another place, and now it's different, and you forgot your mask because you forgot it's in the wash, and now
That's the worst.
You have your bag, but you don't have your mask, or
right.
And so the inconsistency, I think, is the other issue that people are having such a hard time, because you have to remember so many different things for different scenarios. So let's just go through right now. The majority of the things we're talking about are small business owners, and they are primarily in the restaurant industry. Okay. So what are the rules as of we're taping this on the 28th. We'll air it on the 29th, so it's not like we'll change that much. But what are the rules?
Oh, you're gonna challenge me.
For what people have to do going into a restaurant, and what do restaurants need from those patrons?
So I can tell you generally what's going on. I know that the governor just last Thursday did some reductions to this, but on a whole, generally for a restaurant, if they are still offering dine-in options, what the governor announced on Thursday was a decrease in the number of people that could be in that dining area.
Okay.
What you as the patron need to do, number one, is realize that the owner is probably somebody that you know and actually like, that you're friends with or family with, that those servers are there for that same reason. They like their job, they want to get paid, and they definitely don't want to get yelled at. So just remember that in your everyday communications with people, that these are people as well. These aren't big conglomerates that are out to destroy your world. These are people within your community that are there to in a service position. So treat them well. So if you're going into, if the restaurant has decided to keep their dining room open, realize that you should probably give them a call and see if they have a reservation policy that they've implemented because there's such limited seating. If they don't and you show up, know that you might have to wait. Show up in a mask. You will walk into the restaurant with a mask, and you will sit down at your table with a mask. Once you're at your table, you're in your area with your friends or your family, that group of people that we'll call them your safe people. They're people that you are fine with. It's your parents that you live with or your kids that are always there. You can take off your mask at the table. Your server will generally be wearing a mask, coming and going, taking your order just like normal, usually mask and gloves. When you get up from the table to go to the bathroom, put your mask back on. Go to the bathroom, wash your hands, do what you need to do. Mask is still on, come back to the table. You're welcome to take your mask off. When you move from your, we'll call it home base at a restaurant, when you move from your home base, that's when that mask goes back on. When you're shopping, depending on the size of So be prepared to wear that mask. And if you're like me and you hate that hot air next to your face, you're going to put it on at the last second before you get to the store, as long as there's nobody around you. And when you come back out, you're going to take it off so that you can walk with the air against your face out to your car. As long as you are maintaining those social distances from other shoppers around you, once you're out of the store, I don't think you need to wear the mask outdoors. Outdoors is kind of your safe area, as long as you're maintaining those boundaries.
You know, we're talking a lot about restaurants here, but small businesses of retail shopping is just the same, with people you know and have grown up with, or have asked them to help sponsor your sports team, something like that. But you know, when I'm listening to you talk about the restaurant requirements, it is cumbersome, but we are in the middle of a global pandemic where we are seeing the numbers rise exponentially here in America, and even in Mason County, the numbers seem to be on a rise based on testing. And it's just hard for folks. You know, if you're going to wear the mask for 10 minutes, think about, you know, that 10 minutes could keep that business open. You know, depending on what you buy, you're going to buy something, or you're going to frequent that restaurant. These folks are, you know, the margins already for a small business are razor thin. For a restaurant, it's tight. And they are going to try to do everything they can to keep you safe, but you need to do something for them, not just, say, well, I'm going to spend $20 with you.
Right. But if that $20 is spent with you yelling at them the whole time because of the safety measures that they're required to have in order to operate, you're going to have a point at which the business says it's not worth it.
Oh yeah.
Let's just close it down. And every business that I've talked with in Mason County, and Karin, our outreach manager, really just, they want to be in business. They want to be open. They want to be serving. They want to be here for our community, but not at the cost of that level of opposition in something that they can't control.
They can't control it. They don't want to hear it. They would love to not, like you said, have everybody is come on in. We're wide open again, but we're just not at that point. Well, right. One thing that we did not get to, and I hate to add additional items at the end of interviews because we don't give them their due diligence, but
and by the way, Crow-Harden.
say that the Ridge is still planning on MotoAmerica, and you and they and L&E Bottling have come up with some wicked sweet deal for Mason County businesses to send their logos into, there's a link, we'll put the link up, and we get the link to you, and then it's going to get printed off or something and then shown as MotoAmerica, presents the Ridge to America, really coming.
Right. So as just a really quick kind of overview on what MotoAmerica is, it was going to be a very big event that brought in probably close to 14 to 15,000 spectators alone into Mason County, which I'm very sad about it not happening, but with the participants. But since the Ridge is an outdoor venue, they have all of that space. They're able to designate individual areas for each team. The teams are still going to be able to run. The nice part is that Fox Sports is still going to come out, and it's still going to be televised. And since there's not a lot going on in sports right now, it's going to be on both of their channels. So you're looking at a venue that is going to be showcased to the nation. And we have an opportunity, thank you to the Ridge and to everybody that's come together to really make this happen. But they have come together and built a plan to offer free advertising to our local businesses. So all the business has to do is go to that link, attach their business information if they're interested, and it will be on 5 signs throughout the property, so that as the camera scans by, you'll start to get that name recognition, the color recognition. Oh, look, it's, the shopper. Oh, look, it's Black Star. Oh, look, it's this. And you'll be able to see those different businesses that are local businesses being able to get a very unprecedented national recognition level.
I'll make sure I get that link on this interview here. And
wonderful.
Share.
It'll be up on our website by the end of tomorrow as well. Okay. We just got that. Yes, go ahead. So we've pushed it out to all of our businesses, to all of our partners to help us push it out, to get those signs developed, made, printed, so that they're ready for the event.
Jennifer, always good to see you and talk with you, and always good information. ChooseMason.com. Be kind out there as it's not, it's important to visit those businesses that are remaining open, but it's also important to know that there are human beings with emotions behind the door.
They're struggling just as much as we are with the inability to control this horrible virus that is going around, and will probably be with us for a little bit.
I mean, their livelihood, their lifestyle, they're on the line. The jobs of, a ton of folks are on the line, and you're over here yelling because you can't get a crab cake. with a mask, without a mask on. You know, I mean, it just does not make sense to me. But
Right. We've got businesses going through their personal savings to be able to stay in business. So just the love and support that we can give them and treating each other with the kindness that we should anyway, but during this time especially need to really hold close.
All right, Jennifer, good to talk with you. We'll check in
You
soon.
as well.
ChooseMason.com.